This is Top 30.
Welcome to the show. I'm Richard Bacon.
And I'm Kristen Smith. We have 30 stories in 30 minutes. Coming up, looking for the fountain of youth? A new study shows you might not have to. These larger-than-life hotels are a movie lover's dream. And these cats up for adoption are using a new trick to find their forever home.
But first, a new study shows the average American homeowner is spending $1,443 a month on housing. That figure includes mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and HOA dues. Experts say there are a few things you can do to lower how much you pay each month. First, look into refinancing. That basically allows you to trade in your mortgage rate for one that is lower. But the process usually comes with closing costs, so it's important to calculate if the lower rate will translate into savings. Another option is appealing your property taxes. If you feel like you're paying more than comparable homes in your area, you may have a valid case. There is usually a fee associated with the process, and even if you do win, there's no guarantee how much it will save you. And you can also shop around for cheaper home insurance. Many times people don't know what they're paying or even what's covered. Talk to your insurance company and make sure your coverage matches your needs. This is your Top 30 Health Roundup. Scientists believe they have a way to use 3D printing to create artificial tissue. Researchers at UCLA were able to make organic structures using a modified 3D printer. It uses a chip that can print gel infused with real cells, as well as 1 million tiny mirrors. The mirrors create a different pattern for each layer of the object. The team was able to implant their work in rats without it being rejected. They hope one day the technology can be used to make artificial transplant organs and new tissue. In our next story, more American kids could be overdosing on medication for ADHD. Between 2000 and 2014, U.S. poison control centers got more than 156,000 calls about kids being exposed to ADHD drugs. That's an average of 200 calls a week, or 29 every single day. The calls increased about 61% during that time. 42% of the calls were about taking the wrong amount of medication or taking it at the wrong time. Medical experts say children should be supervised when taking medication to avoid accidental or intentional misuse. And finally, there could be a health benefit to volunteering. A recent study at Indiana University suggests that volunteer work can slow down the cognitive decline of aging. More than 64,000 subjects were tracked for more than 20 years. Individuals who spend about 100 hours a year doing volunteer work scored about 6% higher in cognitive tests than non-volunteers. The study's authors think their findings have to do with a unique quality of volunteer work. It offers mental, physical, and social stimulation all at the same time.
Our friend Headcrack over at Dish Nation dishes up the hottest celebrity news. So, Headcrack, I hear people keep mixing up two celebrity lookalikes.
That's right, Kristen. Hilary Swank admitted that people have been disappointed when they meet her. Well, once she realized that she isn't Jennifer Garner, that is. Hilary said people get angry because they think I'm trying not to sign an autograph. I feel your pain, Hill, and for the record, when you see me in these streets, I'm not the TMZ guy. In other news, Kelly Cuoco recently told Vogue that she once broke up with a famous boyfriend because he was an incredibly bad tipper. In fact, he would often leave no tip at all. Kelly wouldn't tell us who it was, but she did share it was a while ago when she was 19, so go Google and speculate. Lastly, Kevin Hart has big ambitions. Now, Kevin's turning 39 this Friday, and he said he wants to be a billionaire by the time he's 45. So get ready for at least another 50 Kevin Hart movies starting off with Night School this September. That was this week's Dish, and no worries, I'll be back way before September. Till next time.
Well, Kevin seems to be on his way. Thanks, Headcrack. For the latest celebrity news, watch Dish Nation weekdays. Check your local listings. Well, there are some common first aid techniques that many people believe, but the problem is they're actually myths. One of the most common, tilting your head backward will stop a nosebleed. Actually, the best way to do so is to apply pressure by pinching the soft part of your nose and then leaning forward for 10 minutes. And another common myth, putting butter on a burn. Doctors say it will ease the pain for a short time, but it's not a long-term remedy. In most cases, you should remove the clothing near the burn and run tap water over it for about 20 minutes. Once it's cooled, cover the area with a clean cloth to prevent it from being infected. And finally, many people believe you shouldn't shock someone with a defibrillator unless you are certain their heart has stopped, when in reality, the machine will determine if shocks are needed. If they're not, the machine won't give them. Of course, these are all general first aid remedies, and you should contact your doctor with questions or, of course, call 911 for emergencies.
And Top 30 will be right back. Welcome back. Movie buffs who like to travel, have a listen to this. There are some hotels that go all out by turning their rooms into famous scenes from movies. According to Ranker, there are 3 movie-themed hotels that are a must-see for any film nerd. First, the Georgian House Hotel in London has Harry Potter-themed rooms called the Wizard Chambers, and it gives travellers the feeling that they're really staying at Hogwarts. And for Lord of the Rings fans, the Shire of Montana has transformed their cabins into enchanted houses like those in The Hobbit so that guests are treated to a truly magical stay. But the Poseidon Undersea Resort in Fiji takes the cake with 25 5-star underwater guest rooms, sure to have any 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea fan geeking out. Reservations start at $30,000 a week, but it's not open yet, so you still have plenty of time to save up.
A New Jersey boy has become known to his classmates as Machine, Puzzle Man, and the Cuber, and it's all because of his ability to solve a Rubik's Cube. Mike Jarek from Fox 29 in Philadelphia has more on this Jersey whiz kid. Hi, Mike.
Kristen, this young man is 9 years old. His name is Scott Gorin, and he's been able to solve different custom-made Rubik's Cubes, 24 of them, in about 24 days. His obsession started when a company sent a box full of Rubik's Cubes to his class, and he started twisting, twisting, twisting.
Ready, set, go.
There it is.
What? Just over a minute?
He says it's half logic and then half following the clues that come with the cubes.
So, Mike, what does Scott have planned next?
Well, his new challenge is to solve a 5x5. You know what that is? It's a Rubik's Cube that's bigger. It has 25 little squares on each side. Try that, Kristen.
You know, I can try, but I think we should leave it to Scott. Thanks, Mike. Well, numerous studies have shown the health benefits of hemp oil for people with chronic illnesses, which is why we've got today's top 30 steal. Sacred Hemp Pain Relief Balm and Lotion at a special 62% discount. This all-natural pain reliever will instantly relax your stiff and aching muscles. Natural hemp oil eases discomfort, reduces anxiety, and helps you get a better night's sleep. The lotion soothes irritation and reduces inflammation. And the balm can be massaged onto affected areas to relieve aches and pains. Plus, they both leave your skin moisturized and glowing. These THC-free products are made in the USA and safe for all skin types. The Sacred Hemp Pain Relief Balm and Lotion both retail for $48, but today you can buy either for just $18. That's a 62% discount. You can get these right now at shoptop30.com while they last.
Welcome back to Top 30. A recent study discovered that many healthcare patients lie to their doctors about money. Research at the University of Texas found many low-income people go without care so that they can afford basic necessities like food and rent. Many healthcare providers think the patient is simply not following instructions. And what this study goes on to say is they want to develop algorithms so that a computer system can spot which patients might be lying because of financial strains and therefore need intervening with, right?
Yeah, and I think with financial strain as well comes embarrassment. And a lot of, you know, a lot of these people in situations, they don't want to say anything because they need the basics, but they also, there's a level of shame that goes into it. And so, you know, researchers recommend it's never a good idea to lie, and maybe physicians should take a more proactive approach to algorithms.
It's hard, it's embarrassing, isn't it? Say to the doctor, I'm not sure I can afford to feed my kids properly. If I go to the pharmacy and buy that medication. They're like, you know, we'd all lie in that situation.
Okay, well, how about this study of people around the world? It found that we all have something in common, not saying thank you enough. In everyday situations, people usually said yes to requests for help or service and got a thank you about 20% of the time. You know, this would never fly in my household. I'm like, every time my kids, I'm like,
Really?
Are you forgetting something?
It's actually a really, it's a much more interesting study than it first appears. They set up cameras in homes around the world. So on average, people request assistance once every 90 seconds.
Yeah.
It's almost always received. However, when those giving assistance complied, they were very rarely thanked. However, almost never was an admission of gratitude commented on. And what the research goes on to say is, it's actually really positive in that we naturally help each other out and don't even really expect a thank you. It's just an understanding that we are cooperative. As humans, we are cooperative. It's actually kind of a lovely thing in a way.
When you dig into it, you say
it's not rude.
It's not, exactly.
Which is really fascinating, and that's why we don't need to thank any of the viewers for watching. You know, they just understand that we're grateful.
Yeah.
It can remain unspoken. And we'll be right back.
In today's hometown stories from Fox 9 Minneapolis, for 1 week a year, military families gather to enjoy the outdoors at Camp Gratitude. Thanks to donations, the camp's founder can provide cabins free of charge as a way to thank them for their service. While fun, many have also found it's a great way to decompress and reconnect after deployment.
It's emotional, but most of all, I would say that it is healing.
Camp Gratitude hopes to expand so they can help more military families in the future. Our next story from Fox 4 Dallas. On July 3rd, 2012, Savannah Fortner was involved in a head-on crash that would change the course of her life. After spending a month recovering at the Parkland Hospital, the help and care she got inspired her to enroll in nursing school.
I just remember thinking, I want to do someday for somebody what these people are doing for me.
6 years later, Savannah now works at the hospital where her life was saved, serving as an inspiration to both patients and doctors. Our final story from Fox 32 Chicago. Quick thinking from 14-year-old Anthony Sanfratello saved the life of one thankful neighbor when her blood sugar crashed. 91-year-old Pauline Peterson usually invites Anthony in for a chat during his paper route. But on his last visit, she suddenly stopped responding and passed out. So Anthony called 911.
It was just my instinct, because I know when something's bad, I can, I always trust the police department.
Thanks to the quick arrival of paramedics, Pauline was treated and now is safe at home. Welcome back to Top 30. You ever notice that when someone's rude to you, you remember it for the rest of the day, and sometimes you even go tell your friends about it? Well, researchers say that's because what may seem like a minor slight can actually have a big impact on your happiness and your health. People take this very personally. And what was interesting about this study, I thought, is that rudeness is contagious.
In what way? In what way?
Like, if someone's rude to you and then you're all cranky about it, and so you in turn are rude to someone else?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, no one's ever rude to me, but I'm sure it does happen.
I think you just don't notice. You move at a very fast pace.
I don't really listen to what people say, so... When I was first got into the media, there was a culture where the editors and the bosses thought the right thing to do was to be really rude and aggressive. And that's just gone now. There's another shift, I think, which is in the workplace. Rudeness is becoming more and more unacceptable, and it's just going away. And it's clearly, I think, a great thing.
Yeah, I do too. And experts say even kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
Be nice to fight rudeness.
Jeans have been pretty much the same for decades, and now a company is redesigning them to accommodate how people work and live today.
Okay, redesigning jeans.
I know. I mean, so they have, basically, there's the pocket has a special material that means when you put your phone in there, it cleans the screen.
Okay.
I mean,
can I do one of these?
Actually, the idea that I buy clothes for practical reasons is crazy. And they have like a reflective strip at the bottom.
Okay, for
so that people can, I mean, I would rather be knocked down than wear a reflective strip on my jeans.
I don't know. Part of me thinks, oh, good, this is cool. But then it's like, wait, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Jeans have been fine. I've survived this long wearing jeans without a reflective strip on them.
I think it's a sweet idea. I just think in the end, it's not how the market works.
Yeah.
I just think that's not why people buy jeans.
Yeah.
I understand it's a nice idea. I just don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're going to see many jeans with reflective strips.
Somebody document this. This is one of those rare occasions where you and I are totally on the same page.
They said this day would never come.
All right, the San Antonio Spurs are reportedly getting rid of their cheerleading squad. The team announced the creation of a family-friendly hype team that will perform at the games instead of the cheerleaders. It will be a 35-member co-ed group that is the first of its kind for the NBA. People are divided on this one.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I think it's quite nice. I imagine some people think it's probably a bit politically correct or a bit boring. But actually, whenever I go to a game, which is rare, admittedly, but I find the cheerleader thing, young girls basically in skin-tight outfits, I find it dated in the way I find Miss World dated. And I know cheerleaders do good work in the community, but so do people that win Miss World. I think it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
To phase it out.
Yeah, the reason this first gave was a lack of fan interest. I think that's the reason is what people are upset with. Like, wait a minute, we have 1 million YouTube followers.
Yeah.
We do a ton of stuff in the community. Fans really don't like this organization, really. But then you think of the Spurs and how progressive they've been, hiring the first female assistant head coach with Becky Hammon. And so maybe, to your point, this is a more progressive approach at entertainment.
It's just less exciting for a young man to tell his mates, I've got a date with a hype teamer, right?
Yeah, you're right.
It's a disappointing bit. Top 30 will be right back. Welcome back to Top 30. Online streaming services have become the music industry's #1 revenue source for the first time ever, with streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music available at consumers' fingertips. Physical sales of albums and CDs and even digital downloads have all been surpassed. In 2017, subscription-based streaming accounted for 38% of all recorded music revenue. Experts suggest streaming's ability to bring music to markets in new regions all over the world has contributed to its popularity. Latin America and China led the way, with a collective rise of 53% in music revenue. When you think of wine country, Canada isn't exactly the first place that comes to mind. But believe it or not, Canada has a bustling wine country in British Columbia's South Okanagan Valley. Home to some of the country's most spectacular vineyards, grapes are grown and produce about 1 million cases of wine for the valley's nearly 200 licensed wineries. Although Americans have likely never tasted the stuff, as it's usually consumed by locals who can't get enough of it, the region differs from the US's famous Napa and Sonoma wine countries because it has North America's first Aboriginal-owned and operated winery. And Stoneboat Vineyards produces the world's only Pinotage ice wine. Located immediately above Washington State's border, it's an easy trip for those in the Pacific Northwest.
A charitable organization wants to boost the adoption chances of rescue cats by teaching them unusual tricks, like how to high five. The Cat Positive program was started by Jackson Galaxy, known as the Cat Daddy on the TV show My Cat from Hell. The program teaches animal shelter workers how to train cats to do simple tricks like to high five and jump through hoops. The adorable tricks make it easier to find the cat a forever family. And the extra attention and physical activity lowers the cat's stress levels while they're staying in the shelter. Galaxy said in a statement, quote, by utilizing the training concepts that were to that point only used for the dogs in our care, not only were the cats stimulated, motivated, and energized, but so was I. That, along with the most important result, lives being saved, was the win-win. And any tactic that helps get rescue cats out of the shelter and into a loving home sounds like a good idea.
New research shows older men and women can generate just as many new brain cells as younger people. This is the first time doctors have come to this conclusion, and the new data refutes previous studies saying seniors do not grow new brain cells. The study was done by researchers at Columbia University and the New York State Psychiatric Institute, and they say it suggests senior citizens remain more cognitively and emotionally aware than commonly believed. The researchers studied brains from 28 people aged 14 to 79 who had died suddenly, and they found that even the oldest brains they studied produced new brain cells. They say future research on the aging brain will continue to explore how brain cell creation and survival are regulated by hormones and other factors. The study appeared in the journal Cell Stem Cell.
Monash University in Australia is hoping to protect their students with a wristband that can detect drugs in drinks. Sadly, 8% of college students report being spiked. SipSafe wristbands were created by Y&R Melbourne to change that. They're designed to be used on campuses as well as festivals, concerts, and nightclubs. The wristbands test for the most common drugs used in drink spiking. You just dab some of your drink onto the two circles, and they will turn dark blue if drugs are detected. It's really an easy way to keep yourself safe.
Thank you for watching. You can catch up with past episodes of Top 30 now on Hulu. You can also download the Top 30 mobile app and visit our website. We want to hear from you, so connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Like, follow, and subscribe to @Top30TV for interviews and exclusive web content. We will see you next time on Top 30.